You're tuned to CKCU 93.1 FM. My name is Matthew. I'm filling in for David Yazbek. This is Thursday Morning Special Blend. In a few moments, we're going to talk about Carleton's International Education Week. And before that, we're going to let you know that it's 9 degrees in Ottawa. We're heading up towards a high of 11. There's going to be some rain off and on throughout the day. Tonight, those showers are going to end around midnight. It's going to drop down to a low of 6. Friday, cloudy, a 60% chance of showers in the morning. Some rain will be right in there for sure, and we're going to see a high of 7. Saturday, mix of sun and cloud, a high of +2. So we've had a number of alumni on today's program. We had Jim Hercombe and then Peter Leo, and we're not done yet, as people have called in and said hello. So we're going to bring up Peter Lennon. And good morning, Peter.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good.
All right, so you got roused up after hearing some alumni on the station.
Well, not roused up. I just wanted to correct a few things. People had the impression that before we went FM, we were only some kind of a tunnel system, and that's not correct. In actual fact, the CRTC had licensed us for carrier current, so you could pick us up on the radio in residence, which is the 670 AM legacy.
Excellent. So this is low power AM?
Absolutely. And so we actually did perform as a sort of a pseudo radio station before we actually had people tuning into us on FM. Not to be a complete contrarian, but I'm one of the guys that would, although as much as I admire Joni Mitchell, and she was the first choice, there was another tune that was in competition to be the first one played. I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned this before or not.
I don't know. Let me know. Go for it.
What would your guess be?
I don't know. I had not heard this. I thought that no one knew what Steve Caldwell was going to play until he did it.
Oh no! Actually, no. There was not a lot of debate, and to this day, I regret the fact that I didn't put up maybe a fiercer fight for this next selection I'll talk about. Because Joni, again, much as I like the song, she talks about a country radio station, and we were certainly not that at the time. So if you read the lyrics, it really doesn't make much sense. The winning point for playing Joni was the fact that she was Canadian. And there's a big debate inside the station at the time whether or not we go foreign or whether or not we go Canadian. And I think we made the right decision in the sense that we took a Canadian artist. However, the song that was the runner-up, Something in the Air by Thunderclap Newman, is much more appropriate to the ethos of the station at the time in terms of revolution happening. And that's what we felt we were doing, that there was indeed a revolution that we were creating and being a participant.
And you took part in almost every role to help that get done, Peter.
Well, I'd go back as far as 1971, and I was director of operations. And again, the growth period between 71 and 74 was pretty dramatic. We had 120 people on air in 1971, and that was just impractical. And I came in as director of operations and cut that in half, and still that was probably twice too many. And I think we only went on air FM-wide with maybe about 30 people, 25 people. But to this day, there's some people that resent the fact that they lost their 1-hour show. But back then, it was treated basically like a college credit in the sense that people would come in and do an hour a week. And then they'd leave. And sometimes they'd leave with our library because there was also we had issues with vinyl being stolen out of our library. So we had to stop having people bring in records. Because they bring in 10 to play just to fill in holes in our library and leave with 12.
I don't know if we've ever fully corrected that.
What's this?
I don't know if we've ever managed to fully correct that. I think that being the open door policy that we have, sometimes it's a little bit too much responsibility for people.
And, it's a great policy. And we had a very large sort of democratic attitude towards the station, but that proved impractical as well. We were electing all our officials. I'd been elected production manager, and I was elected station manager before we went FM, and that just turned out to be something that I think the CRTC would have disapproved of, but the station should not be run as a popularity contest, and that's what it kind of turned into at times. certainly the values that we had very early on, I think, have continued, and thankfully that's the case. Hopefully, you guys are playing comedy as well as alternative music. Comedy was a big, big part of the station. Certainly, things like one of the first programs we ever bought was the Goon Shows, and they were being sold to us. I think two. And of course, the Goon Shows are just these fantastic, brilliant audio radio people, and they were being sold to us by the BBC. 2 episodes for I think $5 back in 1972, and we put them on. The legacy goes back further. Marx Brothers, the attitude of the Marx Brothers, certainly going forward. Firesign Theater had a great influence on us. Cheech and Chong had an impact on the station for obvious reasons. And then, of course, the tsunami that came in was Python, and that just blew the station apart in terms of our appreciation of humor. Carlin was also important. I think we probably played 7 Dirty Words so often that it might have been taken out of the studio because we were playing it every hour.
Although some records have disappeared, I think you're going to find some of those are still here when you're up on Saturday.
Well, good. And the first funding drive, I just want to touch on that before I let you go. First funding drive raised about $18,000, which, and I was trying to figure out what that meant in terms of 2015 dollars, and it's about 70,000. So even back then, we had a real loyal listenership. And just an aside, congratulations on you guys. I think you're going to reach your 135.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that's fantastic. And I'll echo again what the 2 other previous alumni said, that basically without the continuation, without the post launch and all the people that contributed, we have done all this effort for nothing back in 1975. So well done.
Well, thank you very much for starting this. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I know that we're going to have a panel there with Randy Williams, Craig Mackey. That's going to be a ton of fun, and very much looking forward to seeing you again, and safe travels on your way to Ottawa. And we can't say thanks enough for getting this thing started, and we're just proud to have been a caretaker of it over the last few years.
And we'll see you Saturday.
See you then. Thanks again. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye for now. All right, that is Peter Lennon. You're tuned to CKCU 93.1 FM.